gentlemen, thank you for tuning in once again to the Cultural Frequency, otherwise known as Vibe Responsibly. I am your host, GL Richardson, and as you can see, not only do I have my co-host, I got my baby. Yeah, it's just me and Kish today. This one might get a little risque. Might get a little risque today. You know what I'm saying, man? How you doing, baby?
Good. How are you, baby?
I'm good. I can't complain. Not at all. And I'm not going to complain, man. God has been good.
Amen.
Exceedingly and abundantly good.
Absolutely.
So I cannot complain, and I won't complain. Not at all.
No
Not
complaints.
at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not one bit. So before we dive in, per usual, I just want to say thank you for tuning in and vibing with the show. If you love what you hear and you want to keep the conversations flowing, tap that Patreon link in my bio. That is GO_Richardson on TikTok and Instagram, and Vibe Responsibly Podcast on YouTube. And you can also find it on Kish's bio. Where can they find the bio on your? Where can they find your bio, Kish?
TikTok, it is Kish, clearly Kish.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
At clearly Kish on TikTok, and on Instagram is 313 Kish_.
All right. So as you can see, there's on both of our bios. So click the link to the Patreon link. It's actually going to be a box that's actually shaking. That's the box you click on to actually be a supporter for $5 a month. That's all it is. It's a small gesture that makes a big impact, helping us keep the mics hot, the vibe strong, and the culture moving forward. Now, we about to get in something a little deep today. Yeah. So you ever notice how in the Black community we've mastered survival, but nobody taught us how to heal? We learned how to keep going, how to stay strong, how to never fold, but somewhere along the line, we stopped learning how to feel. And that silence, that unspoken pain, it didn't disappear. It seeped into our homes, into our relationships, into how we raise our kids, and also into how we see ourselves. Because the truth is, a lot of our households were built on trauma we didn't create, but somehow inherited. Trauma from generations who weren't allowed to rest. Trauma from families separated on plantations, then separated again by prisons, poverty, addiction, and systems that were designed to break us. Trauma from parents who loved us but were too tired, too wounded, too unhealed to show it in a way we understood. And we don't talk about it. We call it just how things are. Tough love. You know how Black families don't do therapy. But in reality, it's pain wearing a mask. It's survival disguised as normal. It's wounds pretending to be wisdom. And those wounds don't just stay in the past. They show up in how we argue, how we love, how we trust, how we cope, how we parent, and more so, how we show up for the people who need us most. It's why some of us shut down when things get hard, why some of us explode instead of express, why some of us feel unlovable even when someone is trying to love us right. But here's the part nobody says out loud. What we don't heal, we repeat. What we don't treat, we pass down. So today, I want to pull a curtain back just a little bit, right? We're talking about the pain in our families that have carried for too long, not to blame, not to shame, but to understand and to reclaim. And maybe, just maybe, to finally break the cycle. So, Kish, I want to start where a lot of us who grew up in Black households that always say, what happens in this house stays in this house, right? And now it seems the silence that protected us is now harming us. We've been suppressing emotional expression, mental health struggles, and especially vulnerability. So what do you think? I'm going to let you start before I give my little 2 cents.
So I think it's true. Like, even growing up in my household, like, what my mom said was golden. Like, we couldn't express how we felt. Like, we couldn't go against whatever it is that she said. Like, I watched so many things happen to, like, my cousins and to uncles and like aunties that I probably should have never even seen, but I did see. And especially with people that were married, like they were cheating. It was so much stuff going on that as a child, I felt like I shouldn't have been exposed to any of that stuff. Not saying that my mom was a bad mom, but just like you said, that was just like a normal Black family. Like you seen stuff. And like you said, whatever happened in the house stayed in the house. Like you didn't go out and tell nobody about what was going on in your family's house. You kept it to yourself. And then think about as a child seeing all of that stuff and holding it in, not having nobody to talk to about it. Like that can be detrimental as an adult because then you grow up doing the same thing. Like you hold stuff in, like you pretend like stuff don't bother you when it does.
Yeah, and see, that's why I said what we don't treat, we pass down, right? And so then we take on what was the other thing that you say? Not just what happens in this house stays in this house, but don't do as I do, do as I say.
So as I say, yeah.
Right? So that's another big one because you're watching it, but I don't think that they understood that these are learned behaviors. Like we're watching it, like we can't say anything about it right now. We can't do it right now, but as adults, as we grow up, like, you know what? That's what I'm going to tell my kids. Don't do as I do as I say. But you're teaching your kids bad habits. You're teaching them bad habits, and it's just being passed down through the generations. So I'm asking you this. How do you think, because men are taught to be stoic. We don't cry. You got to be tough. You got to be hard. Don't show any sign of weakness. And it's sometimes where we don't know what emotional intelligence is until we reach adulthood. Like we don't know what that is. We don't know how to cope with it. We shut down and we shut out in relationships. When it's time for us to communicate, we don't know how. Right. So with men being taught to be stoic and women told to be strong until it breaks them. I've seen women in my family that just go and go and go. And I made the joke a few days ago, and as soon as I do this, she's going to laugh, y'all. I made a few jokes there ago that came with, a sound of wah, 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 wah. So basically, y'all, the reason why I made the Anita Baker sound, right, is because we had a conversation with a few people, and I was saying that if a woman is cleaning her house and she's listening to slow music, like old school stuff, right? Don't go in the house. Put one foot in that door and hey, you need anything? Yeah, no. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go get us some dinner. I'll be back. Don't go in the house, brother. Stay away. It is not a safe space at that time. But it's what we saw, right? And women, not all women, but women, if you see this and you agree with this, y'all get upset. The first thing y'all do is clean the whole house, even if you just cleaned it. You will throw everything away.
Everything.
I'm talking about all that stuff you had on the refrigerator, all the kids stuff that you was keeping from in school that they came home and you was like, oh my God, baby, this is so nice. You're tearing it off the refrigerator because you're upset. But it's disguised as cleaning. You never expressed yourself. It's disguised as cleaning. So my question to you, Kish, is how do we, as a woman, how do you feel things could be expressed differently instead of just cleaning and, taking that time to basically get rid of your frustration in cleaning because it ain't nothing but exercise at that point? What would be a better way as a woman to deal with whatever that is on your mind at that time? Like, because most times it's the man that's the problem. That's why they clean it like that. I'm not gonna lie. But how could it be better dealt with? Let me know that. How would you better deal with that?
So I'm just gonna talk about me. So growing up, my mom taught me not to cry, not to show any emotion. Like if I needed to do it, I needed to go in the closet or in my room, do what I need to do, come back out. My face needs to be fixed. Like, so just like as they were saying, like men needed to show no emotions, be strong all the time. That's how I was raised. That's how I was taught. I didn't have the option to express how I felt. It's whatever she said, I had to suck it up and I had to keep it pushing. So as an adult, I said, I'm not going to do that. So now I communicate way better than I did as a kid because I felt like I wasn't heard when I was a kid. So now I communicate way more in depth. Like I'm going to talk it out. I'm going to express how I feel. And like it's not to bash or be mean to anybody else, but I need to get it out because I don't want to hold it in because I don't want to be that angry Black woman. I don't want people to look at me and be like, why she so mad all the time? Like, why she so angry all the time? Not knowing deep down inside is because of all the things that I've been through and nobody heard me. I wasn't able to talk to nobody. Of course, we go and we talk to God, of course, but we are human too at the same time. So we do need that other person to come back, and even if they don't say anything, just be a safe space to listen. I just need you to listen so I can get it out. Because think about if you hold all that stuff in constantly, from a kid all the way to now. Do you know how much stuff that is you holding in? So I feel like people need to be open and honest about how they feel, no matter what. No matter what. Because if not, then you might lash out at the person who's just there for you. Or like your friends. Or just random people. Like nobody wants to go around just being angry. It's because they have nowhere to put their emotions. They have no way to express their emotions. So I feel like if everybody just be open and honest and talk about it, like it's nothing wrong with talking. And I think that's the problem because we grew up not being able to say what we wanted to say and express how we wanted to express things that was bothering us. Like, because then that means that we question our parents' parenting, but that's not the case. I'm just letting you know how I feel, and that's how I do as an adult. And I feel like everybody should do that. Don't hold it in. Let it out.
Got it. So I do have another question because something you said. So do you think that it's more so because we can express ourselves to other people, whether it be friends, whether it be the person you're with? Do you feel like there is a level of criticism that you really don't want from these other people? That's why you just typically don't share? Because that's why most people don't want to be vulnerable because, well, I'm not going to say that because I'm going to talk about my aspect of being vulnerable. But do you feel like people don't necessarily express themselves and be vulnerable enough due to what might be criticism on the other end of the soundboard from the person that they're talking to?
Yes, because they don't feel comfortable. But then that's where I feel like you need to make sure that you surround yourself with great people. Like, because if you know that person is not a safe space, then why would you want them around? I don't want people around that's not safe. Like, I don't want people around that I can't go to when I am feeling vulnerable and worry about them judging me. I don't want those people around me. So that's another decision that you got to make. You got to have people around you that you can go to and express how you feel.
Yeah. See, and my thing, and that's why I say I would talk about me. I went through a period in life, actually a couple times, where I felt like I could express myself, but when I did, the very thing I expressed or me being vulnerable in that moment, it was thrown back up in my face. You know, and just as a man, us being vulnerable with someone, that takes a lot. Especially if you've been through something as a man, we are so quick to push things down, shut out, get to ourselves, get it together. I call it going in the cave. Once I go in the cave and I get myself together, I'll come back out. Just give me a minute. I've been known to do that. And recently I did that to the point where my dad was just like, hey, what's going on with you? I ain't seen you. Didn't even realize that I shut down and I shut out. But I got to do better with that. But, you know, it's not that I don't have people that I could go to. It's those past traumas where you feel like, if I say this, is it going to come back? Is it going to be thrown in my face at some point? Because nobody wants that. Man, woman, child, nobody wants that. Nobody wants to feel like, okay, I've been vulnerable enough with you to say these things, and then all of a sudden you throw it back in my face. Well, now I feel like I can't come to you. Now I feel like I can't even trust you with I can't trust you with my vulnerability. So now where does that leave me as a person? Who do I go to at that point? Especially if I'm always the strong one. Where do the strong ones go? Right? If I'm the go-to person, who does the go-to person go to? That's tough.
Yeah.
That is tough. And I've had that for a long time. I'm the go-to, and I'm not even talking about just to speak to. I'm talking about money. I'm talking about just everything. If I am the go-to person, who do I go to? And I don't think people take that into consideration. As many times as you have your hand out, as many times as you call, and let me tell you what a pet peeve of mine is. You call me and you don't say, hey, how you doing? You just go right into your nonsense. You called and just dumped on me.
Yeah.
And then say, hey, how you doing? How's your day? Kiss my behind. I'd rather you curse me out and then start talking so at least I can get a word in.
Right, because you don't know that I just literally was fighting for my life.
Hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what's the next move, how I'm supposed to do. Hey, what you doing? Nothing. They just throw up. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. Where you just, and you're just like, and you're just quiet on the phone.
Yeah.
And then they ask you for advice. I got nothing. I think whatever you're going to do is going to be the best thing that you can do. They never asked how I was doing. Just threw up on me. And I think that's the craziest thing, but whew, man.
But do you think that do you think it's that they don't care, or do you think it's just that they are in a selfish space at that moment?
I think it's a bit of both. Honestly, I really think it's a bit of both because it's definitely selfish. Because the only thing on your mind is getting out what you got going on. It's definitely selfish, right? As far as not caring, I don't think the not caring is not deliberate. Oh, I don't think it's deliberate. I do think it's more selfish than not caring. I really do. I don't think that, at least to me, I don't think that people call with the intention of not caring. They're just like, oh, I need somebody to be a soundboard. I'm going to call this person. But in doing that, they never ask how the person's day was, what they got going on. Not even after they're finished, they don't even ask. What I will say is it puts a bad vibe on any relationship. Mm-hmm. It does, because every time you see that person's face or name come up on their phone, all you think is, oh boy, here we go.
Right, what they about to ask me for. What they about to ask me that they not gonna take.
That part. And I like to look in the camera and say, please do me a favor, or please do us a favor. Please stop coming to us with your problems. If you ain't found a solution, find a solution. You can't keep talking about the same thing over and over and over and over and not have a solution. You just gave your bump, bruises, and blisters a whole birthday. Yeah. Because every month you talk about the same thing. Every month. You complain about the same man. You complain about the same woman. You complain about them kids. You complain about how your job. You complain about this. You complain about that. What's the solution? Because if I gave you advice and you still coming back to me talking about the same thing, what's my advice for? What's the next step? What are we doing? How are you getting to the solution?
Or you just
gotta start asking yourself.
You want me to just listen? You just need to tell me that you want me to listen and you don't want my advice and you just need a space to vent. And that's cool.
And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Because listen, giving advice and it falls on deaf ears. How many more times I got to keep telling you, don't kick the dog gonna bite you? How many times? For me, it take me one time. If I kick a dog and the dog bite me one time, I'm not going back to kick that dog.
Absolutely.
But I got people in my life. That have kicked this dog called life at least 182 times this year. And it bit back every single time. And they still don't have a solution.
Mm-hmm.
But then want to look at me and say, gee, you always seem to figure it out. But God.
Right. But I think also too, like, they don't want to, you know what I'm saying? People are not acceptable to change. So they feel like these are the cards that they've been dealt, and this is what they, got to deal with. Not knowing, like, change is good. Change is okay.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing is, like, a lot of people don't like change, so they'll push their fears off onto you. It's like, no, don't do that to me, because my thing is I'm okay with change. Like, God wouldn't put it in your heart if it wasn't supposed to be. So that's how I feel. It's okay to change. It's okay to move on. It's okay to move forward or to not deal with people. And it's okay to not deal with family too. Like, people don't understand that either. It's okay to not deal with family. Friends that you've had for a long time. Like, you don't have to be super loyal to them. Like, it's okay.
Man. A lot of people don't get it. And I like that you said that, because I think what a lot of people don't realize is that growth hurts.
Okay.
I've said this before. That's a part of growth. The things that you are not letting go of are the things that are keeping you moving into your next season of winning and thriving.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize it. You cannot move into your next season with old things. You cannot. Something has to go. Somebody's got to go. That doesn't mean that, letting go doesn't mean that you don't love them.
Right.
Letting go doesn't mean that you don't want to talk to them anymore. What it means is, when God called you for whatever it is that you're supposed to do, baby, he didn't call a conference call. It wasn't a conference call. It was you.
It was you.
In the same way he did Moses. Moses did everything he was supposed to. I mean, he messed up a little bit along the way, but he couldn't go to the promised land. He did all that work and couldn't go. There are people in your life that are not going to your next season. You have to know that, and you have to be okay with that. Some people are going to be left behind on purpose. And when you don't leave them behind, you stay with them in their mess, and you miss your blessing.
Right.
You have to figure out who is for you, who's with you, who's supposed to sit at your table, and who is fanning your flame.
Yeah.
Those are the people you keep around you. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. If you've expressed yourself in every kind of way that you can, that you don't like what they're doing or what they're saying, and it still continues, I need you to know at some point they said, screw you.
They did.
They did.
It's a form of disrespect.
And here's the funny part. You wouldn't let nobody you do not know disrespect you.
At all.
So why do family and friends get a pass? Why? If you won't allow a stranger on the street to disrespect you, why is it okay for your family and friends? Honestly, why? It's not. Disrespect is disrespect. A lie is a lie. A truth is a truth. Why? You take it because you feel like you have to.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just them. Oh, they'll be all right. They're always like that. So now you the Allstate man?
I call it
You the Allstate man now?
I call it the trauma loyalty.
Yeah. Do you know that you're literally, I'm thinking of the word, you're enabling these people. It's what you're doing. You're enabling these people. And due to the fact that you're enabling them, they're going to keep doing the very things that they've been doing. They're not going to stop. It's not going to stop. And you have to know that. You're going to have to make a decision. If you want to move into your season of winning and thriving, you got to make a decision. I want to ask you something, Kish, right? Because I said there's moments where the Black woman has to be strong, right? And everything is done. They're celebrated publicly, but they're devastated and falling apart privately.
Yeah.
What would you say as to what would be the best way to help you, and not just celebrating you publicly, or you being celebrated publicly, or you just publicly you're this chipper person, but on the inside everything's not going well?
Mm-hmm.
What would be the best way your support group could be there for you? Because that's a big question that I have. Where, what does that support group look like? What does it look like to be wholeheartedly supported, understood, and heard? And it's a safe space. So what does that look like to you? What does your best support group look like? What does that look like to you?
Just having somebody there to listen. Like, I don't need you to fix me. Like, I don't need you to change something. Like, sometimes I just need you to just sit there and just hear me. I just need you to hear me. I'm like, sometimes I need to speak it out loud. And I'm not speaking for every Black woman. I'm only speaking for myself. I don't need you to, you know what I'm saying, try and come in like Captain Save-A-Ho and fix it. Like, I want you to actually just be there and just hear me. Because when I speak it out loud, like, I can fix it myself because I can hear myself saying it out loud. And sometimes that helps a little better. Because I don't know if you know, but when you talk to people, their expression on their face tells everything. So that even though they may not say anything, but the expression on their face tell everything. So you know what they're thinking without them even saying anything because of the expression on their face. So having a group of people who actually show up. If I call you, that means I need you. You know what I'm saying? And even if you're busy, pick up and say, hey, I'll call you back in a minute. Are you okay? Because I say that all the time. I even do it to my daughter. Like, if I call, if she calls me and I'm busy, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm busy right now. Are you okay? She say yes or no. And then if no, whatever I'm doing can wait. Okay, you got my time right now. You got my undivided attention. What do you need? Those type of things. Like, nobody understands, like, the stress of being a woman. I'm gonna be honest. Like, everybody can say, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, women this and women that, but really, like, being a woman and being a Black woman, like, it's hard. Like, it's really hard because not only do you have to be there for your kids, but you got to be the support person for your mate. You got to make sure that you are there for every single person. Like, you can't pick and choose who you want to be supportive to. You have to be there for every single person. Just like you said, that one that everybody comes to when they need advice, when they need money, when they need a hug, whatever it is that they need at that time, like, you are that person and you don't get a choice. I don't get a choice to say, I don't want to be a mom right now or today or at this hour or at this second. You don't get a choice. I don't want to go to work today. I got to because I got to feed my kids. So you don't have a choice in anything that you do, I feel, as a woman. So I feel like just having somebody that's there that is just going to show up for you just when I need to talk or when I need to vent and actually listen to me and understand where I'm coming from. It's not me trying to repeat myself over and over again. It's something in my head and I just need to get it out. I need to get it out. I'm not stuck on it, but at this point, I just need to get it out. Can you hear me? Can you listen to me and sit there and hear me? Listen and hear me when I'm talking so I can get it out and then I can move forward.
Okay. All right. That took a spin for me. I thought you was going to stop at a certain point, but woo, girl, get it out. But no, all jokes aside, man. All jokes aside. Wholeheartedly understand because I seen it, my grandmother, my aunts, my mom, I've seen it where it's just, you can tell they're drained. You can tell, that they're trying to be everything for everyone, and they've slighted themselves, where I've heard even my daughter say, the self-care. I've never heard any older women in my family say anything about self-care. And that's not a new term.
Mm-mm.
Let's be clear here. That's not a new term, right? But I've never seen it. To this day, I can honestly say, with my grandmother, God rest her soul, when I say that woman was on it all the time, sun up, sun down, never really asked for anything, just took pride in taking care of the family.
Mm-hmm.
But there were times where I was like, well, who's doing for her?
Mm-hmm.
Like that, once again, who's taking care of the strong one? I mean,
Yeah.
we all pitched in. We did everything that we could. Like, as a grandchild, I did everything that I could possibly do in my little power, right? Celebrate the birthday, celebrate Christmas, letting her know I loved her as much as and I felt like I did that all the time because my grandmother was phenomenal. And it's just like, you watch the women in your family and you're like, man. And I've seen them do it. Most of them, I mean, there were relationships, of course, that probably I didn't know about. But to me, I've seen them do it single
Mm-hmm.
and strong.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a level of masculinity that they have to take on in order to be that type of person.
Yes.
And fellas, do you know how hard it is to get that woman out of that masculine energy? If she's had to be that for years,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of work. And I'm not saying, fellas, that is something that you have to take on per se. But if you love that woman, you got to roll her out of that masculine energy, man. You have to, because it's going to bite you in the long run. Because now y'all in the same household competing with one another, not just loving each other, but competing. Because it's two types of masculine energy in that house.
Mm-hmm.
One that's actually masculine and the other one that actually had to take on the masculine energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like two pit bulls in a house that don't never get along, but y'all trying to love each other at the same time. So I'm not saying that there are gender roles in the house. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is create a safe space for that woman, and women do the same thing for that man.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I always say, if a man can be vulnerable with you, that is a different level of love. Men are not vulnerable with everyone. We're not. We don't do that. That is not a natural thing in a man. It's just not. Because I know I've had plenty of walls up over the years. But I also tell people, if I treated you in a way where I've been hurt, where the pieces of my heart have been broken, you would hate me. I give everybody a clean slate, whether you mess up, whether you don't, regardless of how you take that clean slate, I give it. Because I don't want anybody to feel like I'm bringing in some toxic, traumatic energy from my past relationships.
Exactly.
I never want to do that. So I give the clean slate, right? I meet you where you are. But I always say, I'm always the same person, day in, day out. I don't switch up. But the moment you give me a reason to not be the person that you know, and I got to look at you funny, you'll never get that person back.
Yeah, I always say you only get this version of me once.
One time.
That's it. You get it once.
That's it. And you know what? It was a pleasure to get that the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Because I normally don't even give that.
Yep.
So take care of it. Please take care of the people who want to be with you. Take care of the people that are taking care of you.
Mm-hmm.
Take it seriously. And don't always be ready to chew somebody's head off. Sometimes somebody could be playing with you. and you're ready to knock somebody's head off. Read the room, please. Please read the room.
Like, it's okay to not be okay. But then I think that you need to, if you around people and you know that you do that, you need to back up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stay to yourself. Because nobody deserves to be treated like that. Because if it was the other way around, then you would be even more upset.
Oh, yeah. Because it's for men, right? With the whole, we were taught not to cry. We were taught to man up. We were taught not to be weak. We were taught to be tough, right? And we also have to understand that within all of these things, there's unexpressed trauma. And that becomes anger, withdrawal, numbness. And you carry this all the days of your life. And you don't even realize that at some point in your life, you met the one and you jacked it up because of your past traumas. Because you think it's weak to go to therapy. Because you think it's weak to be vulnerable. Because you think it's weak to talk to somebody. That's not weak. That is the strongest thing you could do.
Yeah.
Right? And then we have this thing where we feel like, well, I don't want to go to a therapist because most therapists don't look like us anyway. I'm not buying into the system. They just going to fill your head with nonsense so you can go out here. Listen, if that is the case, go find you a therapist that looks like you.
Because it's a lot of them.
It's a lot of them. Okay, go find your therapist that looks like you. Not only that, we also have to understand that the therapist is fair and impartial. They don't know you. They don't know you. So you don't run the risk of somebody judging you. You don't run that risk, and you have to think about it that way. Sometimes you got to just get it off you. You got to get it off your chest, get it off your heart, get it off your soul. You have to get it off you in order to move forward. Because if not, it's just a vicious cycle. It's the hamster wheel. And the only thing you're going to do is you're going to tag your kids, and they're going to take over the hamster wheel, and they're going to keep it going. And they're going to tag their kids next on the hamster wheel, tag their kids. It's going to get passed down through generations and generations and generations. Generational trauma. We all heard it. This is what this is. It's what it looks like. Right? Take care of that. And I want to go back to what stays in the house. Well, what happens in the house stays in the house. I want to say this to anybody that's going through very traumatic experiences right now. And I'm not going to say exactly what that is, but there are times where kids are hurt in these what happens in the house, stay in the house situations. Reach out. Talk to somebody. Please. Please. Even if it's not you and you know what's happening, no child should have to go through that. Reach out to somebody. And if you're watching this right now, listen to me. As a child, if you're watching this, or you know somebody that some bad things are happening to a child, an adult is doing some bad things to a child, my email is vresponsibly@gmail.com. Please reach out. Please. Don't go through that alone. Don't let them go through that alone. It's another form of trauma that's passed down. All right. And it's not right. Back to the men or what we've been taught as men, you know, that emotional trauma of not being able to talk to someone because you feel like you're weak. It's a horrible thing.
Yeah.
Because then you find yourself alone, not lonely, but alone. And I'm going to tell you right now from experience, if you think all silence is peaceful, it's not. Silence can be very loud when you're going through things. Very loud. That's where you find yourself not being able to sleep. You get sleep, but you don't get enough rest. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Listen to your body. Be careful and watch for the cues. You need help. Depression is disguised as many things. Get some help. Seek therapy. It's okay. I promise you it's okay. All right? Now, parenting from survival mode. So emotional trauma carried into parenting, right? Where they parent out of fear, not softness, because they were preparing their children for a hostile world.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In this day and age, we're parenting with tough love as protection.
Yeah.
Because we don't want our kids to get out here and make the wrong decisions. So we're using our form of discipline to keep kids alive, even if it costs emotional closeness. Right? Because the biggest thing is I'd rather get it together in here before a cop picks you up out there. And I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is there's a way to do it. You can teach your children. You can teach them without scolding and making them feel like, they have to have their head on a swivel, like they can't enjoy their childhood.
Mm-hmm.
There's a better way to do it. You got kids out here that are maneuvering in this world as adults.
Yes.
Because of how their parents are teaching them certain things. When is that child going to be a child? When? Allow them to grow up or grow into. I've taught my kids so many different things, but I have allowed them to be kids. You teach it from a child, but the teaching is as if you're talking to someone who doesn't understand. So I'm not going to teach you trigonometry and you're in second grade.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm giving you 1 + 1 in second grade. I might give you a little bit of a times table, but I'm not going to take you all the way to 50 with the times table. I'm take you to 9. At the most, take you to 12. Teach on a level that these kids are on. Stop trying to give these kids real world education on an adult level. And then you trying to figure out why your kids is out here doing certain things on TikTok, Instagram. Because you got them living their lives as adults and they're children.
But that goes back to the trauma. That goes back to the trauma,
Mm-hmm.
As they grew up, they didn't probably have their mom there or they were mistreated as a kid. And then now they're adults and now they have kids and it's like a vicious cycle. Like I feel like you need to allow kids to be kids and they need to act like kids. Like you can't expect for them to watch their younger siblings and they 12. Like you can't expect for them to know all these things and do all these things and watch you doing stuff. And it's like you think that they have blinders on. No, they're like sponges. They're going to soak up every single thing that you say and every single thing that you do. Because you got to remember, you are their hero. You are their superwoman. So when they look at you, they feel like everything that you're doing is correct. So that means that you got to be careful in what you do and what you say while you're around them. Because they soaking it all up.
You ain't lying when you're telling the truth. I can tell you that. Because, man, I don't even know where to come back from that because that was good. That was real good, girl. I get you a gold star or something. No, stop. But absolutely right. Absolutely right. We've all seen it too. We've all seen it. Hey, can you come outside? No, I got to watch my little brother. The crazy one for me was, hey, can you come outside? No, I'm cooking breakfast for me and my brother and my sister.
Yeah.
You do know we in the same grade and you ain't but 9 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, y'all. And somebody's going to watch this and say, well, I got to do what I got to do. Well, do it on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Allow them kids to be kids. If you have to have a child that has to step up, I understand. It may be your situation. But where's the twofold? When does that kid get to go outside, go to the park? When does that kid get to go outside and do something fun? If the only time that your child is able to do something fun is when they get to go to school and go to recess, you know what you did, right? You got them seriously accustomed to going to work.
Yeah.
That's what you did. Because you do realize as an adult, you spend more time at your job than you do at home.
Mm-hmm.
Some adults have more fun at their job than they do at home. Because when you go home, either you don't like the person that's there, or you're going to an empty house. There's nobody to talk to at the house. Or if you do talk to that person, you don't talk to them for long. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing. You're doing the same thing to your children. Give them an outlet. And I ain't talking about just toss them some coloring books. No. The time that you think you don't have, I need to rest. Okay, get your rest. But don't neglect them kids, man. Take them kids outside. If you got a backyard, take them kids in the backyard. Let them run around. But get them outside. And this is where the social skills come in. These kids don't have social skills because they've never been outside.
Or out to eat. Or to a family vacation.
Man, it's so much to unpack in that right there. Stop letting these tablets, these phones, and these game consoles raise your children. Please. Give them a time where they can play them. Shut it off. No kids, no adults should be coming to the table to eat with a phone or a tablet. That is a time where y'all sit down and actually talk. Take that time to talk. Because there's going to be times where something happens. You're going to be like, well, I didn't know that. You know why you didn't know that? Because everybody's head is buried in a doggone tablet or a phone. And the only thing you can talk about, you seen that new trend on TikTok? Horses in the stable. Looking crazy. Looking crazy. Come on, man. Come on, man. Like, I make light of it, but y'all know I'm telling the truth. Stop letting these consoles and these doggone phones and these tablets raise your kids, man. Stop. Then you're trying to figure out why your kid is so grown.
Right.
Because if you really believe that they stop on these trends and they're not scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, the algorithm is not built for children. Let's be fair. Mm-hmm. Be mindful, people. Please. Allow these kids to be kids. Get them outside. That's why I call them glass children now. Kids can't even fight. I've seen a TikTok where these two dudes was fighting and was swinging like females. And I don't mean no disrespect about that, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Head down. What? Well, you know your hand's supposed to be up here and the other hand's supposed... Let me stop. I ain't gonna tell everybody my business. But but for real, man, like, let's do better, man. Let's completely do better with all of this. Because it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to talk about what you're going through. It's okay to get the help. It's okay to raise your kids a different way. It's okay to be not with the norm. Mm-hmm. It's okay. You don't have to fit into everything. You do not.
It's okay to be different. Think outside the box.
Man, like I see, it's like a lot of these families now are just cookie cutter. And you see it. You see it. Like, why is it that the teacher calls the parent for having a problem with the child, and the parents show up to the school and scream out at the teacher? Mm-hmm. You want to fight the teacher?
Fight the teacher.
Why? I'm calling you about your child, and you came to fight me. Mm-hmm. Why? Who do you think the problem is at that point? Is it the child or is it the parent?
Or both.
Because as an educator, I'm doing my job. I need to ensure that your child is not only safe, but I need to make sure that they're getting their education. But I also need to make sure that they're not disrupting the class. Mm-hmm. But I call you and I tell you, hey, this is what's happening. And instead of saying, hey, I'm going to deal with this at home, you want to get into a shouting match with the educator. Not only that, You showed up looking crazy.
Yeah.
Listen.
But that's saying that it's okay that the child has that behavior. Like that's setting the standard of, that's the reason why the kids be like, well, go ahead, call my mama. I don't care. She's not gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
And that's sad. That's so sad.
Yeah.
And sometimes the kids do stuff just so they can get attention, period. Because they're not even getting no attention at all.
That's that lashing out.
Yeah.
It's the lashing out. You know, it's instead of being able to reach out, they lash out. They don't know how to reach out. The kids. So instead of saying they need help, they lash out.
Yeah.
You know, help comes in the form of fighting. Help comes in the form of arguing. Help comes in the form of bullying. Like this is my way of telling you I need help. Because I don't know how to express myself.
Yeah.
So now, with all that being said, how do we heal? Like, what do you feel like? And I'm not looking for a perfect answer here. I'm not looking for it's not just the best answer. But in your opinion, how do you feel like, or what do you feel is the answer for healing? What does healing look like? With everything that we talked about, what does healing that Black family trauma look like, in your opinion?
To be honest, for me, it's just super simple. A hug.
Okay.
A hug. And just saying, everything gonna be okay. It's just so simple. And it's so meaningful. And it speaks volume.
Wow. Wow. And I'm saying wow because, you know, I did see something on social media where there's this thing called I think it's called The Last Time or The Last Hug. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Where these kids are like 21 years old and the mom is like picking them up and holding them like they were still a baby. And these moms are bawling. It was one where I seen it's not a child, it was a young adult, just crying her eyes out. Put her head down on her mom's shoulder, bawling. Right? And when you said the hug, that's the first thing I thought about, because when's the last time you've been hugged like that? When's the last time you've been held like that? Like, when's the last time, like, just you were able to fall in somebody's arms and it just felt like, I was about to get deep with my answer. You said a hug. No, I'm serious. Like, I got all these things in my head. Like, this is what you need to do. And you got to go to this. You got to go to this. She was like, a hug. And just sat it down. A hug. There you go. That's the truth. Like, I like that answer. Like, just a hug. Because there's so many people that I know that I've hugged and just started crying.
Yes. And say how much they needed that.
Yeah.
How much they needed it. Like it was something that they didn't know they was missing until they got it.
Wow. Wow. That really made me think about that, because even like being in the military, you know, you see somebody talking and they're upset. I did this with so many. Oh my goodness. And I don't know if that was just my default answer. You know what I mean? Like they're just and and I don't see why. And I just come here. And at first, you know, the arms are down and they're like, and then all of a sudden and they start crying.
Because you could feel the tension, the resistance. But then once you act, and I'm not talking about like a look, I'm talking about like a real
like a
embrace. Like a hug.
Yeah.
Like they just need it. So many people need it.
Simple. Just simple. Wow. Because like I said, I went back just thinking back on how many people I've just grabbed, like family, friends, you know, people I've worked with, and they just literally just not everybody didn't bawl out crying, but just, you know, just and you just hear them. Wow. Man, I might need a hug and don't know it. No, I'm just you and me, but never. All right. So I want to say, as far as rebuilding, the hug. I'm going to say the hug, but I definitely want us to be encouraged to seek out therapy. Work on our emotional literacy, our emotional intelligence. Even further than that, community conversations, get involved with men groups, women groups. They're out there. And with men and women groups, that's also a fair and impartial place. You find yourself in the midst of people that are being vulnerable, that don't mind talking about, what works for them. And you may not do it on the first day, but if you keep coming back, you'll find yourself opening up.
Yeah.
And then you'll find your way in there to be vulnerable. Exchange phone numbers, network, and you don't have to necessarily go to the men or women group all the time. Right. It could be a one-on-one thing. Go out to lunch with somebody, go out to brunch with somebody in the group and just have that chat, but open up. Open up. It's okay to open up. It's okay because, we can't heal what we won't name. But once we name it, we can rebuild with intention, with compassion, and with us in mind. Yeah. Got to do that. Man, oh man, this is a good one today. All right, girl. Kish was on it today. She could have been the host today. I'm gonna let her host next time. I ain't doing nothing. She gonna do all the talking. Watch. Shoot. Had me up here acting like I had to facilitate the whole thing. I ain't gotta do nothing. So we reached this part of the show with my segment, I Heard My Pastor Say. So, I heard my pastor say, it's one thing to be surrounded, it's another thing to be supported. Being surrounded brings you company. Being supported helps you in and with your calling and purpose. Just because you're surrounded doesn't mean you're supported. I said it earlier. Get with people that are going to fan your flames. They won't only support you, but they will be there for you wholeheartedly. There are people out there that have your best interests in mind. I promise you they do. You may not even know them yet. They may know you on social media, but every time you post, they be like, oh, this is a good person. And at some point, I hope that everyone out there finds their tribe. I really do, because it is very much so needed. I promise you it is. But don't stay stuck in a group or a tribe that you feel like is for you, but nobody sees or hears you. It's time to let it go. You're not missing anything. You're not gaining anything. And nobody has done anything for you in that group. But they want to party. They want to travel. They want to drink. They want to do all the things. But at the core of things, what does that look like for you? Do you feel supported? Do you feel heard? Do you feel like you can go to them and be vulnerable? If you cannot, it's okay to like them from afar. Mm-hmm. But that's not your tribe. I promise you it's not. Okay? Move on, move up, do what's right for you at all times. Mm-hmm. All right? All right. Well, with that being said, Kish, let them know where they can follow you, girl.
You guys can follow me on TikTok at Clearly Kish, Kish, no E. No E. Mm. And on Instagram, I am 313_Kish on Instagram. The link is in both of my bios. If you guys want to subscribe, click the link.
That's what I'm talking about. See, you took words right out of my mouth. Well, y'all know mine. On TikTok and Instagram, GL_Richardson. And to check out the podcast, the video of the podcast, you can go to @Vibe Responsibly Podcast on YouTube. You can find the link in both of those bios to subscribe. So let me say this. Oh, okay. So listen, make sure you follow us because we will be going live on TikTok every Friday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we give you and yours a chance to ask questions and provide feedback about this very episode. So make sure to give us a follow and join the live because it gets deep, It gets silly and real goofy over there as well. But I will let you know in the safest way possible, it is not a safe space. We do have fun over there, though. It's crazy over there, but we do have fun. If you come over there, you may get roasted. I'm just not going to lie to you. It can happen, but it's all in fun. We're not trying to make anybody feel bad or anything like that. It's how we do. All right. So real quick, after you hit the follow button, I've got one small favor. If you've been vibing with the show and want to help it grow, drop a $5 monthly subscription. That's it, just $5. That's the same price as 3 tacos from Taco Bell. Come on, y'all. But this one is way more healthy and it feeds the culture. Your support keeps the lights on, the mics hot, and the vibes flowing. So set it, forget it, and know you're part of what keeps the whole vibe alive. Once again, you can subscribe through the link in both of our bios on Instagram or TikTok. You can see the actual profiles right here, right there at the bottom. All right. And once again, please, by all means, if you're looking at the YouTube channel at Vibe Responsibly Podcast, you can actually find the link in there as well. And hey, if now's not the time, I wholeheartedly understand. But just keep listening, keep sharing, and spreading the vibe. Because guess what? Our new motto is you're not just going to be out here vibing alone. So share the vibes and help us keep spreading all this love. And listen, I don't know you, but I love you like I do. So y'all get on out there and have a phenomenal day on purpose. All right? All right. We out.